What is going on, everybody? Samp here with my man, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Can't complain, man. It's cold outside, but hey, it's winter time. It is what it
Yeah.
is. The final stretch of winter. What can you do? What can you do? How bad is it out your way?
Oh, that's fine. We got snow on the grass on the side, but the main roads are fine. We got
Right
two
on.
centimeters last night, but school's on, so not too bad.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, man. Guess what? We had a first major card of the weekend, man. This past Saturday, the David Benavidez, David Morrell clash, the one that everyone was talking about. Did it live up to your expectation?
I thought it was a pretty good card. It did, yeah. Three or four really good fights. I was happy with it. So yeah, I would say it did. I enjoyed it. It was a stack card, and I think it was pretty not maybe quite all the hype we thought. There wasn't a knockout by Pitbull. There wasn't a knockout by Benavidez, but still damn good fight. So I was happy with it. You?
Yeah, no, I mean overall the whole card was really good.
Yeah,
Junior won as well, so I mean,
yeah, that too. He had
you
the
got that
knockout.
guy winning as well. Abel Ramos Jr. He won his well. This guy's up and coming, so he's someone we need to be looking out for on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
I guess the only fight that I would have to say that didn't live up to any expectation was just a mirror of itself in an opposite way was probably the Fulton Figueroa fight. Nothing
Yeah.
like the first fight. Figueroa looked like a shell of himself, you know?
Yeah,
I
you look.
mean,
I think it's the heavier weight class form. I think he looked a little bit sluggish. He
yeah.
was smothering himself. He was coming in too close, and he wasn't able to get his punches off because he didn't have the proper distance. But that fight wasn't as good as the first one. But I mean, overall, a great
Probably
card
the only
by PBC.
downside of the whole card. Now, saying that though, take nothing away from Fulton coming off a knockout loss to anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to kind of go up a weight class and kind of
Two-time
put that kind of
champion now.
and putting on that kind of performance. So take nothing away from him, but based on the expectation we had for that fight, I think a lot of us, it just didn't live up to it.
Well,
But
the thing about Fulton was his ring attire that he wore.
that was pretty cool.
The jean shorts. He had the Timberland boots on. Now those weren't real. Most people thought they're real Timberland boots. They're not Timberland boots.
No,
They
no,
were
no, they're just
customized to
designed.
look like that. Still a boxing shoe.
Yeah.
But the reason why he wore that, he was trying to set the reason why he wore that, he was trying to send a message to Figueroa and everybody, I'm here to work hard. I
Yeah.
got my work boots on, I got my construction shorts on. That was the message, and he did, and he won the fight easily.
Initially, I thought it was a tribute to John Cena with the shorts, but but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know that as well. But let's get into the main event, man. David versus David. You know, and I'm a big fan of David Benavidez, but these first two fights that he's had at this weight at 175, he hasn't looked great.
Yeah, a couple things surprised me. He came out fast this time. Usually starts so the first couple rounds he came
Yeah.
out. He was ready. He was throwing more punches. Like I said in the prediction, he's going to win a decision. The reason why I said he's going to win a decision, there's only two things with Benavidez. You're not going to outwork him. You're not going to throw more punches at him. So that's if it's going to go to decision, Benavidez is going to win. If he's going to lose, he's going to get knocked out. Fourth round, he got rocked there. He didn't go down. The 11th round there, some say it was a knockdown. Some say some. I think it's hard to say. He got hit off balance, kind of tripped. It can go either way, but you know, Benavidez has a great chin. He got rocked a couple times and he didn't go down. His legs buckled and he got hit hard by that hook by Morel, and he's got a great chin, Benavidez. But the
Yeah,
more you
well,
get
I
cracked
mean,
like that, eventually the egg's gonna crack, right?
you could see the inexperience in Morel as well a little bit here. Like how much he still needs to work. So the right guy won because if Morel had won, this would have been a 1 or 2 round fight against either Better Beeve or Bivol, in my opinion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? If Morel had won. So the right guy won, but I mean he really had to work for this victory. More so than he did against Caleb, more so than he did against Charlo. You know what I mean? Against any of them. Like, I mean, Andrade as well, but this is a fight where he really had to work hard. And it just shows you what David Morrell can become, if he takes the right things from this fight, applies them to become better,
yeah.
right? You could see the experience where David was kind of pulling back the hand to kind of like, a slot machine to get inside there. Some people thought that was kind of, dirty handed tactics. Javante wasn't happy with it. Javante called him out saying, he deployed unsavory tactics of sorts, right? Like basically said he cheated.
Nah, he didn't cheat. Nah, it's part of the boxing, right? If the ref isn't stopping it or calling it, David, why would he not do it?
No, I
And you
get
could
it, but
also see you could see the hand speed. Benavidez had way faster hands. He was hitting better shots. I thought he improved his defense a little bit. I know that sounds
yeah,
weird to say, even though he got rocked on the chin, his legs buckled, he got knocked down according to the ref, but he did improve his defense.
no, he did.
But David's a stationary target, right? Like he just doesn't move much, and so somebody like Bivol is going to pick him apart if they
Well,
fight, unless he changes up his game plan. But I was happy with Benavidez' performance. Like he won the fight easily. He has a good chin. He came up strong in the first couple rounds, and he just outworked the guy
yeah,
and outperformed him. And it was a good fight.
no,
Everybody
it
expected
was.
some people were let down because we call them the Mexican monsters. We expect them to finish everybody in 4 or 5 rounds. But at this weight class, I don't think we're going to be seeing that anymore.
No, and it shouldn't be, right? Like, I mean, when you're the bigger guy in the smaller weight divisions, obviously that's expected. But here, you're starting to see, and it's good that he's come up. He's young enough where he's
Yep.
come up where he can still learn all these things. But I'll be honest, man, going into the next fight here, potentially, providing Bivol, providing Bivol loses again, it looks like David might have to wait, like you were saying, for
The rubber
them
match,
to
yeah.
fight for a rubber match here, right? Which might benefit David as well. Like I think he needs some time to heal. Like we said, he did take some shots, right? And I mean,
He
one of
did.
the interesting stats that they keep saying on the show was, oh, David just set the record for the most shots on Morel. David set the record for this against Morel. Yeah, but Morel hasn't fought anyone of that caliber until
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So of course, yes, he broke those records, but I mean, at the same time, he broke them against a guy who had not faced anyone. This was his toughest fight, right?
Oh, hands down.
Right. So I mean, look, overall, good fight. I have no problem with the decision, but you can still see where David needs to improve. And I'm only being critical because I want him to do well in his next fight,
Yeah.
right? I really want to see him succeed. I want to see him become undisputed. I mean, the guy's worked hard. He's taken the hard fights.
He does. He doesn't back down from nobody.
He
You got to
doesn't
give him
back down
credit.
from nobody. The only thing I would have to say is the approach that he takes to getting fights with his father.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only knock on him.
That's that street mentality of the Benavidez boys. They have
Yeah.
that street.
Yeah. But it doesn't benefit you because people are not going to give you what you want that way, right? I mean, Canelo's not the kind of guy to kind of bend over and say, "Oh, you're talking like this, let's do it." Canelo wants you to be respectful. I don't know, if that makes any sense or not, but I mean, it's just kind of like you're going.
Canelo is the cash king. He is the pay-per-view king. And Benavidez, and I hate to be the only couple knocks they'll take away from this card is they didn't sell out T-Mobile Arena, which
No.
only holds 15, 16,000 people. So that should be a sellout. Wasn't a sellout. I haven't seen the pay-per-view numbers yet, but they're probably only about 100,000 pay-per-view buys. So Benavidez realizes he needs Canelo to get the million pay-per-view buys to sell out the arena because he's not selling it out without him. So that's part of it too.
Next step for him is probably to go over to Saudi Arabia on the 22nd and be in the crowd for that. So hopefully he'll be there to kind of see what goes on. But it's a weird one. The only way this fight happens is if Dimitri wins, or sorry, if
Better
BF wins, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, this fight probably won't happen until September, October this year. I mean, it's still going to happen this year, one way or the other, but it all depends on how beat up you are.
If Better BF loses, David's not.
Sorry. We're looking at 2026. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
probably fight again in September.
Yeah.
Right. For the third fight, which means David would probably be waiting a whole year again.
He'll have to
What
fight somebody else.
does David do then? Does he take the risk and fight someone else, or does he take the
he'll
safe
fight
fight?
somebody else. He's too young. He needs to stay active. He'll fight somebody else. Who
Right.
I don't know, but he'll fight somebody.
Crazy, man. But yeah, no, it was a good fight. We also had Clarissa Shields fighting on Sunday. 4-time undisputed now. Right?
Greatest woman boxer of all time.
Right. And like I was talking,
Has to be.
and I'm thinking like, women's boxing, the likes of Clarissa Shields, Alicia Baumgartner, Serrano, Katie Taylor, these 4 women, I think in the next 10 years, because of these 4 women, we're going to start to see a bit more, even competition between these athletes, right? Outside of the Katie Taylor Serrano fights, really, those are the 2 most equally paired combatants.
Mhm.
Alicia, yes, granted, Alicia's had some harder fights, but Clarissa, she's not had anyone hard to fight per se. She's, what I mean? Everyone's kind of below her. It's kind of like when Tiger came and hit the scene. no matter how good you guys were for the first 4 or 5 years, no one could compete with the guy.
Well, it's the same thing with Layla Ali. She was always fighting competition below her. The thing is, women boxing, not a lot of women do boxing. There are women that do it, but it's not like the men, right? So there's less talent there because there's less people doing it.
But
So
what I
you're not
believe,
always going to have even fights. It's harder to
what
make
I
an even
believe is
fight.
like with this advent of these women and the way they're being promoted, you're seeing more girls in the gym. So hopefully we get to see a bit more even competition over the
Yeah,
next 10 years, right? So, that's probably the only thing. But guy, we got Derek Chisora. The guy's what, 43 years old?
43 years old, man.
43 years old. Is it fair that, no, sorry, 41. Derek Chisora,
41.
41 years old, 35, 13, 23, has put himself in a position to fight for the IBF title against number 12, Otto Wallin, 27, 2, and 15.
I'm happy these guys are fighting. If they want to fight, if people are paying to watch them fight for the IBF eliminator, why not fight and make more money, right? This fight's hard to call. I mean, Chisora's tough, man. He's just got like that workman, construction worker. He's just tough, built like a brick house. Um, but he's taking so many hits to the head. I don't know, man. This is a 50-50. Probably Otto Wallin I lean to, a little more skilled. But I mean,
Otto's coming off the fight
this is a
against
tough fight.
Joshua as well, where he lost as well. So he hasn't fought since then,
Yeah,
right?
both these guys have been there with the best boxing world. They've been in there
Yeah.
with Fury. They've been in there with
Yeah.
Joshua. These guys know what they're doing. It's just there's not a lot of hype behind this fight. That's the thing. It's a free fight. I mean, you might as well watch it if you can. But yeah, I mean, people want Chisora to retire. If you listen to his speech, it's slurred, right? He definitely has some CTE going on there. So,
Yeah.
but he loves to fight and he's tough. So why not, right?
No, well, I mean, if they're allowing him to fight, I mean, he has to go through the commission. He has to go through all the medicals and everything. So, I mean, he's obviously fit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't let him fight if he was not fit enough to. So, I mean, they deem it okay. The way I kind of look at this fight, I think Chisora is going to win, man. I just think, like you said, the guy's just like a bulldog. He just keeps coming, right? He doesn't stop. Wallin, on the other hand, I mean, coming off the loss to Joshua, like you said, it
Lean's
is.
got a pretty good record. He's only ever lost to Joshua and Fury. There's nothing to be ashamed of in
No,
that, right?
no,
Yeah.
no, no. Fair play, right? But vice versa, this guy's lost to both those guys as well, right?
Yeah.
So 50-50. But you know what? I think I'll go with Chisora, man. If
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a
gonna
pick
go
'em fight.
Yeah, it's pretty much a pick 'em. I'm gonna go Otto Wallin decision, split decision. It's gonna be a good fight though, because the thing about Chisora, he just likes to bang, right? So it's gonna
Yeah.
be an exciting fight. So I'm looking forward to watching it. There's not
Well,
a
I
lot of
mean,
hype behind it, but
if his work rate is up, if that's what judges are looking at is the work rate, then I think it goes to him. I think Otto's going to kind of, be a bit more tentative because of that.
yeah. Well, they were calling for Chisora to retire in 2020. He lost to Issac and Parker twice in a row. He lost. Then he beat Pula, and then he lost to Fury. So he lost 4 to 5 fights, and he didn't quit. He's still going. 5 years later, the guy's a monster.
Well, the guy's a fan favorite too in the UK.
Yeah, well, he's an exciting fighter,
right? I mean,
and he's a good guy.
Yeah, exactly. And but like I said, he's a fan favorite. The fans love him regardless.
Yeah.
Right. His banter, his his compo or pre-fight conferences, post-fight conferences. I mean, the guy's a character, right? So I mean,
this is a good heavyweight, middle of the road fight. Wallin's way younger, 7 years younger, right? So he definitely has youth on his side. So that's why I'm leaning with him. He's more fresh. He's been in less wars. Chisora's been in so many wars with all these guys, with Issac and Fury and Parker. Like, he's been hit lots.
Yeah.
So I'm going Otto Wallin split decision, but should be a fun fight.
Should be fun.
Boys bang.
I'm looking forward to it.
If Chisora loses, then it's time to call it a career.
Matt, fair play, man. Fair play. But if he wins,
you can keep fighting. Keep
fighting, man. Okay. So it was announced Crawford Canelo this September
in Allegiant Stadium, which is good because I can hold up to 60,000 people.
Yeah, Allegiant Stadium, man. Your thoughts, early thoughts on this?
I'm excited for it because I'll probably be there. And the thing about it is, at Allegiant Stadium, tickets will be a couple $100 for the upper bowl, right? It's not going to be a $1,200 seat because they got to fill it, right? So it's a good fight. It's a super fight. Both guys are getting a little bit older, but it's time to do it. Is right now, and it's a good fight. Everybody's saying Crawford's going to beat the brakes off of him, but I'm actually thinking Canelo's going to beat him. I think he hits harder. I think he's got a better defense. Crawford's more slick. We don't know. We'll see. It's going to be
Crawford's more slick, but in his last couple of fights that I've noticed with Crawford, he's kind of slowing down. and he's not moving as much as he used to. He's more stationary,
Once you hit 35,
right?
those reflexes start going down. Yeah.
Right, but he's more stationary. He's like, he's like you were saying earlier about David, right? Like, he just kind of he doesn't move that
Hmm.
much, and he's kind of like a target, and that's perfect for Canelo,
Yep.
right? I mean, all the challenge is on. I mean, granted, he's got a year to prep for this now, right? So, but I mean, 168, that's a huge jump, man. We're not
Oh
talking
yeah.
about 4 pounds. We're talking from 154, from 147 to 154 to 168. And that didn't do very well for Charlo, the other Charlo, when he moved up from 154 against Canelo,
Yeah. You know
right?
what? Canelo's the king. So Crawford, if you want the fight, you got to come up. And good for Crawford for doing that because he's
Oh, dude,
definitely the smaller guy. And I don't really care who wins this fight. I'm just glad that I'll get to watch it and it's going to be a fun fight. And
I think it's a
it's a
great
super fight.
opportunity. One, Allegiant Stadium, and
Yeah,
both
it's
you
in
get to
Vegas.
see two of these, top tier talents at the same time,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, dude. And they're kind of sliding off their prime. So this is like perfect time to do it is right now. They'll sell
Yeah.
that place out and I'm
Now,
excited for it.
well, like I said, I mean, initially, I mean, this is Canelo's to lose,
You'd think so.
right? You would think so. But I keep hearing rumors and rumblings that he might be fighting Jake Paul in May. What do you know about that? Or is that all just talk?
I think I just thought I think he'll fight Paul one day, but not before the Crawford fight. And he would beat Paul. But why take a chance of Paul if he just get a fluke chance and knocks you out? Then the whole Crawford fight is losses. It's muster. So I don't think he's an even chance at. Even though he would 90% beat him, but there's always a puncher's chance. You don't want a
To
chance.
be honest, man, I don't even think Jake would touch him.
Maybe not, but why risk that before your big fight? It's not. Yeah, I know, but he's got so much money. Just wait till after Crawford and try it. But you never know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, but that's what you're saying, man. You never know, right? We'd have to just sit here and wait for the announcement. Um, February 22nd is just around the corner, man. I don't want to talk too much about it because we probably have a whole show on it. So I'm going to ask you, what do we have in the world of boxing history, man? Both
Well,
international,
before we do
Canadian.
that, we forgot to talk about the most exciting fight of the night last weekend. Pitbull Cruz.
Oh my goodness, yes, 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 yes. That was a Mexican war in itself, man. You know what? I'll be honest. I thought it was a fight of two halves, right? I mean, Pitbull looked amazing in that first half, and Angel was able to come back and do a little bit of damage here. I mean, going into the 10th round, I believe Angel was actually leading him.
Yeah, so I
Um,
had it. I had it going into the ninth round. I had it even. I had it 4-4, and Pitbull Cruz won those last two rounds.
yeah,
That's what the judges had it. I had it that way, and he did. So I thought, Angel got a chance to upset him here, but Cruz has turned on the gas, and there's fight of the year so far. Not saying much, only a month and a half into the 2025, but
yeah,
that was the most exciting fight on that card, and it's
yeah.
action packed, and the fans were loving it. I was loving it. Pitbull Cruz only 26, like I always say. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch simply because win, lose, or draw, he's coming at you. He's relentless. He's a pit bull. And what do pit bulls do? They don't back down. They come at you and they rip your face off. And that's what he's trying to do in there. And hats off to Angel Angel Ferreira, because he fought a tough fight and he almost had it the last two rounds. Pitbull turned that extra gear, got the
Yeah.
ninth and 10th to win it. But had Angel done that, we'd be saying a whole different thing. It was an amazing fight. And Pitbull is definitely one of the top two or three most exciting fighters in the whole sport.
And dude, it comes down to the quality of the fighters that both these guys have had, right? Nothing against Angel Fierro, but I mean, really look at his resume compared to what this guy's
Yeah,
done,
it's a big step up.
right? I mean, it's a huge step up. I mean, like you said, he's 26. He's already fought, Tank. He's already fought. Who did he fight recently? He lost to
Venezuela.
Venezuela, right? These aren't easy fights, right?
Mm-hmm. They'll fight
Um,
anybody.
he'll fight anybody, man. The guy's like you said, this guy is, with all due respect to David Benavidez, he to me is more of the Mexican monster.
Oh yeah, he is. He puts it, and his fights are more exciting. He's a smaller guy, so it's easier to fly around that ring. But
He
what
looked
a
funny with
fight!
hair too.
What's that?
He looked funny with hair.
Yeah, it was a heck of a fight. It was a really good card. Al Heyman, PBC, they put on a great card. They stacked it. All the fights were good. Angel Ferreira versus Pitbull Cruz was the best fight of the night, hands
Yeah,
down.
no, hands
But
down.
great card. Good job, PBC.
No, 100%. I mean,
And one more thing I'm going to plug before we move on to history. Today, actually, this Thursday at 3:30, free on ESPN Plus. I think it's going to be on TSN in Canada. We got a big fight here in Montreal, Canada. We got Bakador Jaloff set to face David Splitmont heavyweight boxing match in Montreal Casino tonight at 3:30. Jaloff is number 10 ranked heavyweight in the world. He's undefeated. He's got like a 90% knockout rate, and he's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in the super heavyweight division. And he's a beast, and he's a scary guy. And see what he can do. He's a massive, massive favorite, 66-1. This is
no.
See, that means you got to put $6,600 down to win $100. Nobody's doing that. This guy's good. So Backador, Joloff versus David Splitmont in Montreal, top rank, 3:30 West Coast Pacific time today, Thursday.
And you know what?
Good fight.
Fights like that on regular TV probably get you more attention than a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Right? So here we go, man. Looking forward to it.
It should be a good fight. Like, yeah,
the boxing starts tonight, and then we get into
if you like to make money, man, put down $100 on David Splitmont, and it'll pay you back $1,400 if he somehow wins. But it's not looking good for him. So we'll see what happens. Should be a good fight.
See what happens. All right, brother, man. History. What do we have?
World, yeah. So this week in history in 1943, the one and only the Bronx Bull, everybody knows him, Jake LaMotta handed another famous boxer, Sugar Ray Robinson, his first professional defeat when he won a 10-round decision at Olympic Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. 19,000 people who showed up. Biggest indoor crowd in Detroit boxing history. Sugar Ray with his first loss from Jake LaMotta, the raging Bronx Bull.
There you go. Anything in Canadian
1943. History? No, just this Friday. Everybody go down River Rock Casino. Amateur boxing night. We got the amateur champion coming down from the States, Bellingham area.
Yeah.
He's fighting a Canadian heavyweight. $45 for the cheap seats. Closer to the rings, about $75-$80. This Friday, River Rock. They haven't had a boxing show there in many, many years. So it's good that they're getting back in business with that, because it's not cheap to rent that building. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, weather permitting, people find a reason to go out and do something like
Tickets
that.
Tickets are moving pretty well. And then there's CAW wrestling on Friday, too.
Yeah, nothing much.
Bunch of tickets are moving for that. Who's Care Brewing has bought over 100 tickets for that. So it should be about 350 people in there. So you got wrestling, you got boxing on Friday.
I'd go over the boxing over the wrestling show, man.
Yeah, both should be good. Both are amateur, right? I mean, this boxing show is not a professional one; it's amateur.
Yeah,
but there'll be a couple. They'll have a couple pro fights in them, but mostly headgear fights. Which are still, you know what? Some of those fights are actually better than some of the pros, because these guys go in there. They're 3 rounds, 5 rounds, 8. Yeah, you're right. They bang and they bang.
They work hard. It's like college ball, man. I mean, I'll take college basketball over the NBA any day.
Yeah. So busy weekend in Vancouver. So yeah, should be good.
Yeah, man. Weather permitting, hopefully everything stays, nice out there on the roads at least, right? I mean, that's probably the only thing that's going to deter anyone from going out over the weekend. Yeah. But hopefully, like I said, man, there's some great events here. I mean, it's cold outside, so go check them out.
Yeah, should be good. Support it.
All right, man. I think we've talked about everything we need to talk about on this one. We got stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, so we got a lot more stuff coming up towards the end of the month here.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got that big card, so man, I can't wait to get on the mic to talk about that.
Oh yeah,
that'll be fun. Other than that, brother, man, let's wrap it up. Let's call it a day and let's move on our ways. My name is Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels. And
in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the show, we salute you.
We do salute you. And guys and girls, it's cold out there, so stay nice and warm. Stay dry, please. If you're going to go out and drink, please, more than ever now, be responsible, because the roads are not in your favor.
No, they're slick.
No. It's slick. You don't create an issue for yourself. One bad choice will determine the outcome of your life in those kind of situations. Don't be that person. Also, remember, patience, faith, and hard work. The mantra for 2025. I'm pushing it. Without those 3 elements, you will never be successful. And don't wait for God to give you anything, because he won't if you don't put the time in yourself.
Amen to that.
Right? Guys and girls, have a great weekend. Be safe. We love you. Samp&Chance are out.